Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gauntlet Hangouts. Tonight we are playing Offworlders: Dead Planet. This is session 2 of 4. My name is Mike. My pronouns are he/him. I will be your GM tonight. So Dead Planet is an adventure that was written for the OSR sci-fi horror game Mothership. I am adapting this to a minor hack of the PBTA game Offworlders. In this, I've made a couple of changes to the basic structure of Offworlders just to bring in the horror, because that's not really a component of the original game. Yeah. So why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? Kyle, you are next up in my window. Would you say a little bit about yourself and the character you're playing?
Sure. I'm Kyle, and I'm playing Samantha Smith, the geek of the ship.
Cool. And Greg?
Yeah, I'll be playing Athena, and she's a warrior.
Awesome. And Brendan?
I'm Brandon, and I'm playing Thorin, who is the psychic and nominally the captain.
Also, we may have another player joining us late. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% certain of that, but if they join us, we'll do a brief intro then. So where we are. Previously on Dead Planet. So the crew of the fast courier ship Stingray 12 was on a routine like corporate information brokering mission. They were bringing some perhaps ill-gotten information to a corporate client, when their ship was suddenly lurched out of hyperspace unexpectedly near a mysterious planet in a mostly uncharted red dwarf star system. The planet is, once they were pulled out of hyperspace, the crew realized that pretty much all of their systems were running normally, and the hyperspace drive, their jump drive should be working, but investigation indicated that there's something wrong with this area of space that is basically causing ships in like a hyperspace field to collapse, and anything passing through hyperspace in this vicinity will drop out of hyperspace into normal space. Your ship has conventional sublight engines, but the nearest inhabited system, if you're going to go at like maximum thrust, is going to take nearly 200 years to get to. You have, or also in orbit around this planet are scores, if not hundreds, of other spacecraft. Some of them seem to be they all seem to be derelict. Some of them are badly damaged, perhaps have collided over the years or decades or centuries, or who knows how long some of these ships have been here. Some of them do appear to be very old. You found one ship that was actually pretty close to your own orbit that had an energy signature. It was the only ship that you were able to scan that did that still seems to have power running. It was an archaeological research ship called the Alexis. You attempted to hail them, no response, so you docked. The Alexis had, once you got aboard the Alexis, you found that there were signs of carnage. There were signs of like lots of fighting. You found lots of blood on the walls. A lot of you found several bodies. You made it to the bridge, and you found two partially functioning androids that were attempting to figure out what had happened to them, because they knew that that large sections of both their ships and their own memory cores had been erased or scrambled or something, and they couldn't figure out what, and they didn't know what happened to the ship. And while you're having this conversation, suddenly you heard like a rumbling sound from deep within the ship that suddenly built to a crescendo, and then there was all kinds of like weird electronic effects, like lights started flashing, various information panels just started going haywire, and the two androids just suddenly like slumped over as if they'd suddenly gone into a power down mode. And that's when the things started showing up. A weird, disgusting alien creature that looked something like a cross between a worm and a centipede and an insect came out of a ventilation shaft. One of you shot it and
Athena.
I'm sorry, I don't remember which character did that.
Athena.
It was Athena. Okay. Athena shot it and destroyed it, and one of the characters, and I want to say it was Sparks, ducked for cover under a desk.
Yes.
And that's when he realized that there was another one under there that was just inches from his face. And I believe that's where we ended it. So Sparks is another PC who player is not here, so I'm going to I guess I'll just run the character as a GM character for now at least, because Sparks is in the scene. Sparks, for new viewers, Sparks is kind of the outlaw character. He's got the he's the one who has the connections to the underworld. Maybe not the most maybe not the bravest member of the crew.
Maybe not.
Okay, so there's a shout from under the desk where Sparks had ducked. Like, what is that? Get it away from me! Thorn, what do you do?
I'm going to back away from there and look for more. Athena, another one under the table. Sparks.
Yeah, I
get
got
the
it.
fuck out of there.
Yeah, Athena will, walk over. Is the table, like, just throw the table up, just.
It's less a table and more like a control panel.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Well then,
it's like severely bolted to the floor with like wires up, but it's like a control panel that you'd like pull a chair up to.
and Sparks is underneath this thing?
Yeah, Sparks ducked under it for cover and realized that there was that what he was trying to get, another of what he was trying to get away from was under there.
So Athena will try to grab a body part and yank him out.
You're yanking Sparks out?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is going to be I think you're clearly in danger. So I think you are acting desperately.
Okay.
So when you act in the presence of danger or peril, and there's a chance of failure, tell us what you wish to accomplish and what you fear may happen if you are not successful.
All right. She's looking to, one hand on her vibro axe, the other hand, like, pull Sparks out of there and see what's on him.
Okay. What are you afraid might happen when you, what are you afraid might happen in this situation?
Well, one thing Sparks could no longer have a head. but obviously something could jump out, right?
Okay. So why don't we say the stakes, and so the rest of the move is then the GM will tell you that it's worse than you fear. So I'm going to say if you so I'm going to say the situation is yeah, you can pull sparks out. Yeah, you can pull sparks out of there, but or like the thing that may happen if the roll doesn't go well is, yeah, you pull him out, but this thing is attached to his face.
All right. Yeah, let's so what this is this athletics or survival? Are any of these?
Yeah, I'm gonna say athletics definitely helps here.
Okay. So what? I
So
roll
you can
roll
so you
3.
can roll. Yeah, you can roll with advantage. I'm gonna say this is probably a strength. I'm gonna say this is probably I think you're gonna roll plus strength unless you
Yep.
want to argue something else, but that looks like your best stat, so that's probably what you want to do anyway. And then roll 3d6 and add the highest 2.
Okay. So 8 plus 2, a 10.
Nice.
Do we have a dice roller? I forget.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
y-
we do have. There's a link to roll for your party, which is on the Safety and Resources tab.
Thank you.
Also on the Safety and Resources tab is a link to the hack of Offworlders document that I've put together. And yeah, one other thing, I thought that Offworlders was a pay what you want game, but it looks like the author has actually put a price tag on it.
Yeah, I looked at that. It's actually, I think he's donating a lot of the money to Black Lives Matter or some sort of legal fund kind of thing.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, when I picked it up, it was pay what you want. I think I ended up like I downloaded it for free, liked it, and then I think I gave him $10 later, but because I thought it was worth it. But yeah, he actually put a real price tag on it now. It's nice. I mean, basically, Offworlders is it's World of Dungeons but in space. Anyway, so you got a 10. So yes, this works. Tell us what it looks like pulling sparks out of there.
Yeah, we'll say I pull sparks out, and he's just kind of like, ah! Like it's almost comical. He's like batting at something that isn't there, right?
Love it.
So I pull it out, and we'll say the thing isn't on him. He's safe. But the things will say, under the table or something.
Okay. Love it. Awesome. Let's see who hasn't gone. Samantha, what are you doing in this situation?
I'm not sure. I'm definitely trying to figure out how I can help, like in the character, but I'm not sure if my skill set is that useful. I guess I can do a bad job just attacking the creature.
Sure. Yeah. It's yeah. I'm gonna say after Athena pulls sparks out from under this control panel, the thing that was under there, like skitters across the floor. It's kind of like making it looks like it's making a run for another ventilation duct that's on the floor. I mean, this one the grate's down, but this thing's got like these tentacles that come out of its face that look like it could conceivably manipulate stuff. So yeah, it's skittering across the floor. You said you wish to attack it?
Yeah, I think I just come in swinging with my baton.
With your baton, okay. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna say if you're attacking with a baton, I think you're gonna be rolling on strength. So again, for the move,
Go for it.
You are acting desperately. So what do you seek to accomplish, and what do you fear may happen?
I'd like to kill the thing. I fear I might get hurt pretty badly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is it's going to make some kind of attack on you, and how that attack is going to land is going to depend on whether I'm making a soft or a hard move in reaction. So, yeah, why don't you roll plus strength?
I got a 7.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you do damage. Let's see. That was a. Yeah. So go ahead and roll a d6 for damage. This is one of those PBTA games where damage is rolled, but at the same time, yeah, you definitely whack it. You whack it pretty hard on the back of its carapace. But it rears, but when you hit it, it stops, it wheels, and it spits something at you. This like glob of greenish goo comes out of the thing's mouth, proboscis, kind of hard to say. This thing's got like really weird alien anatomy. And it hits you, and it starts sizzling. This like whatever it just spit at you is caustic. Please take 1d6 damage against yourself. Armor applies. So if you're wearing light armor, that reduces damage by 1.
So I took 3 hit point or 3 damage, and I inflicted 5 damage.
Okay. You inflicted 5 damage. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to retcon what I just said. It's not that it spit at you. It's like when you hit it solidly on its carapace. Its carapace like smashes open, and this like this like globs of green goo come out of this thing's it's like you smashed an insect, but its guts went flying, and some of it hit you, and this thing's viscera are caustic. So it's you have destroyed another one of these. 2 down. Who knows how many to go? These are the only 2 that you see in this room.
All right.
So the sound that this like weird vibration sound, it got to a certain level of intensity, and it is staying at this intensity.
Sam, did you take damage?
Yes.
Did you get hurt? I run over to Sam, grab a patch off my belt, and slap it on her suit.
Okay.
We're going on suit atmosphere here.
Oh, that's right.
If that thing, actually hurt her, and it ate a hole in the suit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'd forgotten that you were still wearing. I'd forgotten that you were still wearing vac suits. So yes, this thing did compromise your vac suit.
Yeah. Okay. So I just banged a patch on it.
Got it. So yeah, no roll needed. Yeah, your vac suit is patched. Yeah, I'd forgotten that you still had your helmets on and whatnot. Just like when your suit was compromised, I am going to say that there was no like big pressure differential or anything like that. The atmosphere. I mean
but it's
cold in here, but it's not.
It's mother cold. We don't know if it's not contaminated or the carbon dioxide level is too high or anything like that. So
makes sense. So the sound of this vibration is definitely coming from like deeper in the ship, like more or less the way you came from. Anything else we want to do while you're on the bridge? Now, like a lot of these controls are kind of going haywire, and the lights it's got emergency lights and they're flickering. It's it's pretty weird in here.
So this was an archaeological expedition.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Is there more stuff we need to find on this ship, or
Yeah, there's one more thing we need to find.
what do we need?
We need to know where they are.
Okay. Could always just get off, but
And what?
nah.
And what? Spin a bottle? Throw a dart at a map?
Well,
What's
true.
your plan?
Yeah.
There's 30 people, 28 people not accounted for on this ship.
Could be down on the planet. But,
Yes, and if they are down on the planet, we need to know where, because the whatever's fucking up our hyperdrive is on the planet.
all right.
So
Well,
if
let's
they're
go.
down there, I want to know where they went. Because
Let's
I mean, the half of the world we've seen so far doesn't have any place to land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, no, we got to find out. We got to find out somehow where they went if we can. But we're just gonna have to be careful.
And I'm going to interrupt here. I just got an email from Jason saying that he says he's in the waiting room being let in, but I'm not seeing him in the waiting room. I'm sending him another link to the meeting.
Okay. All right, let's go. I'll take drag. You take point. Yeah.
All right. And where are we heading off to?
Okay, so you're heading back down the corridor toward the sound.
Yeah, we might as well figure out what we're dealing with here.
Okay,
we also need our tech back. And this pulse, whatever it is going to be is maybe rendering our ship inoperative too.
So I'm just going to say for the sake of clarity that they're actual like maps, like bolted onto the side, bolted onto the corridor.
We downloaded one before. We saw got to look at one before.
Yep. Yeah. So so this thing is, so the sound is coming like below and toward the rear of the ship from where you are. So you're going to want to go down. You want to go down one level off. You're on the command level, which is a fairly short section of the ship.
Okay, then we go there.
Okay. You're pretty sure now. Once you hit the main area, it sounds like it's probably coming from the cargo bay.
We were at the cargo bay before and we didn't see anything, right?
You went to the pod bay. You didn't go to the cargo bay last time.
Oh, I thought you said the pods were in the cargo bay. Excuse me.
Nope. The stasis pods. The stasis pods are in the cryo chamber.
Right. And I think we did mention the cargo that the ship had. Was there some sort of, or did we?
Yeah, you haven't.
Well, it doesn't matter. We didn't find it.
Yeah,
so we're gonna have to
you didn't go into the main cargo hold because if you had that's kind of a set piece.
Right. But I mean, I think didn't we have some data on like where the ship came from or something, or?
Yes. In the previous episode, you used your ship's computer to basically find out information about the Alexis in general.
Gotcha.
And the sort of things that it would normally carry.
All right, let's go. Cargo.
Records you had rolled.
It's the cargo bay, then it's the cargo bay.
Okay. So you get to the cargo bay door, and
Sparks, if you're not going to use that gun, give it to Sam.
Hold on, got another message from Jason. Just pausing briefly. I'm going to see if he's on.
All right. These doors working, by the way, or are we having to crank them open?
They were working before. They don't seem to be working now. That
Okay.
The lights are flickering, and most systems seem to be offline.
All right. So I mean, is there a can they be cranked open?
They can be cranked open. This door actually, but this particular door, when you get to the cargo bay, it looks like it never fully closed because it's damaged. It looks like It looks like something forced it open from the inside.
Yeah, well, we can bet what that is. Is there enough space to get through, or
You can squeeze through, or you can try to force it open to make it more.
let's try to get
make
it
more
further
easily.
open. I don't want to squeeze into any place I might have trouble getting out of.
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to do that?
Good.
Athena will walk up and inspect the door, see if there's anything on it, or but try to slide it open.
Sure. So yeah, it looks like much of the mechanism has been damaged, as it looks like something powerful from the other side, wrenched it open with brute force, breaking much of the mechanism that would normally slide it back and forth. And yeah, it looks like whatever did it had claws that was able to dig into the steel.
Like with the airlock.
Pretty much like with the airlock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wrenching the door open. So that's clearly going to be strength. So what do you wish to accomplish, and what do you fear may happen if this doesn't go so well?
There's always the door just doesn't budge. There's, could cause other damage to come upon the ship.
Okay.
Either appears, either find more damage or cause it, or just a big nasty surprise. So
Got it. So I then tell you how it's worse than you fear, and I'm going to say, so wrenching the door. So you forcing the door from this angle. A cable. You're now afraid that cabling that carries hot hydraulic fluid would probably could conceivably spray out of it, and that one's not so caustic, but it's well above the boiling point of water, so it would conceivably cause some nasty burns.
all right, let's do that. Are we talking athletics again?
Yeah, athletics definitely works here.
All right, let's see.
And yeah, you're clearly rolling on strength.
Bam, 10 again.
Nice. Yeah, you wrenched that door open. It's go ahead and
and she
actually when you
does
get
one of these afterwards.
I was just going to say, when you get a 10+, you get narrative control, so you can describe what it looks like.
Okay, yeah, she looks at it, and actually I've been thinking Athena is a former athlete. Maybe she played semi-pro spaceball, and so quite gifted athletically. And so she just grabs it, and she's just oh, yeah, I used to be in women's wrestling in high school. This shouldn't be hard. And then
nice.
Yeah, she just takes it off and tosses it. She's like, "That's what you pay me for."
I got a flashlight.
Yeah, you got a flashlight, so you shine.
Yeah, I direct the beam. I direct the suit headlight into the space.
Okay. Okay, so the cargo hold is pretty much full of at first glance, it seems to be full of stuff you'd normally think would be on an archaeological dig. There's a couple of those walker. Now, first of all, it's really eerie in here because again the emergency lights run and they're flickering. There's clearly been a fight in here at some point in the past. There are a couple of bodies on the floor. There's various archaeological equipment. There's a couple of those mechanized exosuits. There's there's a couple of four-wheel ground transports. One that's decked out like a dump truck. Various crates, a whole lot of lockers. There's one weird thing in the middle. It looks like they must have picked up this weird statue artifact thing. It's this weird artifact made of dark twisted metal. You know, again,
Is
you
that
can't
what-
get we can't
is
get a
that what's-
really good look at it from here. You'd probably want to get closer to get more details on it. But
Is that what's making the noise?
yeah, actually, that thing is what's making the noise.
Athena, how heavy do you think that thing is?
Oh,
Oh,
I
and
don't
the other
know.
thing of the bodies, 6 of the bodies are 6 of the bodies are on the ground. They're lying on their stomachs. Their faces, they're lying on their stomachs with their hands stretched forward, with their heads and hands pointing at the statue, arranged basically radially around it, equally spaced.
Anyway, how big was the statue again?
It's about 3 feet wide. It's about 5 feet high and about 2 feet thick.
Yeah, that's depending what it's made of, that could be pretty damn heavy. Does
gotta
anyone
pick up-
have it? Oh,
I gotta pick up a random piece of metal
Okay, there's
off
plenty.
of a body's belt if I have to.
There's plenty of debris in this room. There's like
And
several
then
points
just
of crates and whatnot.
and then toss it towards the statue thing and see if it just has a hell of a magnetic field or what.
Magnetic field. You toss this metal toward the statue, and there's like a shimmering around it. As you throw it, it almost looks like it passes through. It almost looks like it passes through something that like almost makes it like refract, like when you're looking at something, like when you stick a stick in water. It seems to it appears to take an odd angle.
Like a force field of some sort.
Yeah, there's some kind of force field or distortion field or something around it. What do you do?
Let's see if we can get a let's see if we can find some cabling.
And Jason just joined, and Jason is about to join us.
Sam, find us some cable.
Okay, yeah, I'll look around to see what I can salvage.
Is that over there the cargo door? Looks like it.
Yeah, the cargo bay does have 2 interior doors.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the exterior door.
Oh yeah, and yes, there is a large airlock. That's not the one that your ship is docked to.
Okay, is that airlock look intact?
It is intact. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to pause here. Our 4th player arrived. Hey, Jason, welcome. You are muted.
Sorry, the link was hung up or something. I don't know what was wrong.
No problem.
Here I
welcome.
am.
No problem. Welcome. Jason, would you introduce yourself and your character?
Sure, I'm Jason. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Sparks. He is the outlaw. He looks like Harry Dean Stanton from Alien.
Fantastic. So 2 things. One, Jason, if I could ask you to change your display name in the Zoom to put your character name and then your name in parens so that I can keep everyone's name straight. And 2, just want to fill you in. When last we left, you had ducked for cover under you were attacked by you're on a half derelict archaeological ship called the Alexis. You were on the bridge talking to two partially disabled androids when suddenly like weird power fluctuations happened, and these strange insectoid aliens started appearing, and Athena shot one. You ducked for cover under control panel, found one already under there, staring you in the face. Athena grabbed your leg and pulled you out of there before the thing could bite you. Samantha then, as it skittered across the room, Samantha whacked it solidly with her combat baton, killing it. And then you have been searching for the source of this like weird hum vibration thing. You found it in the main cargo hold, where the one thing that seems to be out of place is a weird twisted metal statue. One notable thing about the weird twisted metal statue is there are 6 bodies arrayed around it, radially outward, spaced evenly apart. They're all clearly dead. Their heads are facing toward the statue, and their arms are outstretched toward it. And that's where we are. Thorin, you were asking to see if there was cable around.
Yeah, I was telling Sam to find cable. She can find it.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, it's an archaeological. Cable is easy to find in this room.
Cable and cargo bays go together.
Yeah, you can easily find some cable.
All right, let's see if we can get a cable. Sam, Sparks, see if you can get a cable around this thing. Don't get too close to it.
Okay.
And then Sam, once you've done that, let's set up a block and tackle. So we can see if we can move this thing. Get leverage enough to move this thing because it looks heavy as shit, and we don't have the power loaders.
Let's do it.
I mean, you've got to. I mean, there are two of those like exoskeleton loaders that are right there.
Yeah, but we got nothing powered is working.
Yes. Oh, that's true. That's true. Electronics do not seem to be functioning.
I mean, those aren't shielded. Those aren't shielded things like our suits, and so there's no reason to think they're working. Unless you can think of a way to shield them, Sam. But the problem is I don't want to get that close to it. This thing's got some sort of weird distortion field around it, but a solid object went through it. So
the solid object didn't go through it. It didn't go through the statue. It went through this like weird distortion field that's around it. It went through it. Right. It seems to change its angle of trajectory and landed not where you expected it would.
Okay. Well, see if you can wrap a cable around it or get some sort of purchase on it.
Okay. Let's set up like a lasso.
Yeah.
Swing around. Woo.
Okay.
Yeehaw.
Let me check one thing real quick.
Sam, figure out a leverage solution for this thing.
Yeah, Sparks, I saved your life, but who's counting?
Sure.
Athena, you and me are watching for trouble.
Gotcha.
While they're doing this.
Where are we trying to move it to?
Airlock.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to like blast it out into space.
This thing is what's killing all the electronics on board the ship and probably on board ours.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna first thing is to see if we can ditch it.
Are there any sort of like carts or wagons or anything around here?
We've got power lifters, but they need power.
I was going to say yes. There are two like
unless you guys can figure out how to shield one of them from this electromagnetic effect, which is
kind of
tricky in the field conditions.
The other thing that's in here is a small, basically it's like an all-terrain vehicle. It's a 4-wheel drive ground car that's got like a dump truck attachment. It's not. I mean, it's not a full dump truck. It's probably about the size of a, for comparison's sake, it's about the size of a modern of like a subcompact car. It's got space for a driver and one passenger, and then
Right. Also not a useful object right now.
Well, maybe we can like hotwire it or like use like a battery from our power packs or our
Well, it's not a
tricorders or
question of
whatever.
that. It's a question of whether it's electronics or shielded. You want to try starting it up?
Sure. I'll jump in the driver's seat and see if we got any juice in this thing.
got it. So just as you're
Again,
about
it's not
to-
a question of whether it's got juice. It's a question of whether, never mind.
Anything happen, Mike?
Well, I was going to say, just as you're about to get into this thing, there's, you all hear this, like, all of you hear this ungodly, indescribable, like, wail or scream or screech. It's, you know, it's somewhere between a like human scream of terror and the growl of a great cat and like fingernails down a chalkboard, all like woven together. And you look toward the statue, and like stepping out of, kind of hard to say where, but stepping out of like the statue, like through this distortion field, are three vaguely bipedal, vaguely humanoid-ish like life forms. They don't so much, it's, they're probably about like 6-7 feet tall. They're very, very, they're very thin, but they have like very, very long, thin limbs that don't seem to have joints. And it doesn't so much have a head as, like sort of like the top of its torso just kind of like squares off. But like out of where, like, like out of the top of its chest are just a bunch of writhing tentacles, and there's a maw there.
Fuck no.
The other thing is they don't seem to have eyes. They're all kind of like a medium to dark gray in color. They seem to have like mottled seem to have like a mottled pattern in them, and they are hideous and they are terrifying. And they look around and they each pick a target and are starting to move toward you.
They don't look friendly, Thorn.
Yeah, Thorn, what are you doing?
Force wall. Thorn puts their hands on their temples, and their eyes glow silvery white, and a wall of force coalesces out of the air. It's like, fuck you say.
Awesome. Sure. Barrier solid psychic energy up to 10 feet by 10 feet in size. Okay. Thorn uses their psychic ability to create a psychic wall. So what is your Thorn, what is your plan to use this wall? Where are you putting it up, and what?
I'm wrapping them.
Oh, you're trying to corral that. You're trying to corral them together.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
If I can. If I can't, I'll just block off the space between us and them.
Okay. I think I want to. I think this is deserving of dice hitting the table. I mean, you can. You don't need to roll the dice to make the wall appear. You need to roll. I think we're gonna do an act desperately just to see if you're able to see if you're able to corral them.
Okay.
So you're trying to corral them in your force wall. What are you afraid might happen if this doesn't go so well?
Oh, I'll miss. There can't be a whole lot worse than that.
Okay. I'm going to say, in order to, okay, so the way the move is phrased, tell us what you are afraid of will happen, and the GM will tell you how it's worse than that. I'm going to say that if you're not able to pen them, they all just turn their attention toward you, and probably will see you as their biggest threat, at least for now.
Okay.
You can choose to back down if you wish, but if you want to go through with it, I believe you are going to. Awesome. So I think that's
a 14.
Wow.
Bam.
I was going to say, I think you're going to roll plus will, but yeah.
I think I can. I think it can reasonably be said that I was expecting that to happen after that roll.
Awesome. Yeah, that's yeah. You are able to pen them in your psychic force wall. Go ahead and tell us what that happened, and also since you rolled 12 plus, you have a choice. You may either clear one stress, or you can receive an extra bonus or advantage. And we'll have a side conversation to figure out what that bonus or advantage is.
I'll take an advantage.
So what are you looking? Well, let's see. What are we looking? How's this? You pin them up fairly closely together such that they can't really maneuver at all, such that I was going to say such that it'd be much easier to hit them, but they'd have to get through your wall.
Yes, the wall works both ways.
Yep, the wall works both ways.
I pin them up closely enough so that if I drop the wall, they are still tightly bunched.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
I got an idea for what's next. If the truck does the truck work at all?
Try. That's darn.
Let me check.
Try cooking anything.
Let me check something on timing.
Is your psychic wall visible, Brandon?
It absolutely is.
Okay.
What does it look like?
It looks like a shimmering cage.
Cool.
It's got swirling little lines of force that play over its surface.
Nice. Let's see here.
And do you think it like messes with our heads at all when you're like doing your psychic stuff? Can we feel it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's something manifesting like this, yes. Against the cacophony that's going on right now, I don't know.
Okay. So
yeah, but normally it's like a high pitched whine in the back of your head.
Oh, I like that. And it is. I'm going to say that the high pitched whine is kind of like resonating with the whine that seems to be emanating from the statue, and it's just cacophonous. But just as you do this, and you've pinned these creatures, you hear that hum that had been at a level. It suddenly like it doesn't increase. It like the intensity of the sound begins to fade as the pitch goes up, and then almost like outside of human hearing. And at the same time, the volume basically drops to nothing. As that happens, that shimmer around the statue fades away, or I should say it doesn't fade away, it like drops suddenly. And as it drops suddenly, those 3 creatures you've got pinned in your psychic wall disappear. Just poof. I mean, not even poof, just suddenly there's like that shimmer, and like that shimmer goes in front of them, and then they're just not there anymore. At this point, once that happens, the weird flickering lights stop flickering, and the normal sounds of the ship happen, and like all of the screens like flicker back to like the normal displays.
If the truck will start, maybe I'll just start it up and try to like bulldoze this thing towards the, the
Toward the airlock.
the door. Yeah, the airlock.
Got it.
Well,
It
yeah,
starts-
I mean,
It starts right up. I'm
Do it,
guessing this-
Sparks. Do it.
Do we have to like? Is it like is there like an internal door and an external door? So there's like a airlock space in between.
There was absolutely an airlock between that.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's-
try to
and it-
push this thing right in there.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Pop the open.
Okay. Yeah. So you go
Pop
to
the
you open
door.
the inner door. You go through the safety protocol. You open the inner door of the airlock. There's the like the warning klaxon that you are opening the interior door of the airlock, because that's always a little dangerous. I don't think a roll is necessary here. I'm going to say sure. You push this thing into the airlock.
Slam the
it's-
door and vent the lock.
It's heavy. Your wheels are. I mean, you're able to do it, but your wheels are definitely spinning. The statue probably only weighs slightly less than what the truck does. You're able to move it, but it takes you a bit, and you've got to like you do it from one angle, and then it gets stuck, and you back up and you do it. Then you realize
Right.
that the best way to move it is you back up and then you like drive at it. You basically kind of crash into it. You're not doing good things to the truck, but again, I don't think a roll is necessary here. But yeah, this thing has got to weigh like well over. This thing is like solid steel, or it's probably denser than steel, whatever it is. And now that the lights are up, you get a better look at the statue. It's grotesque. It's made of. It looks. It almost looks organic. It's it's clearly got like parts of it are like limbs or maybe tentacles. Some of them look insectoid. Some of them look more like a mollusk's tentacle. And interspersed in this this weird twisted thing are several what appear to be human faces. Their features twisted in agony. But you get it past the inner doors of the airlock.
Hit the button, Sam. Let's blast this thing into space.
I do it?
Yeah. So, first, kill the gravity controls in the airlock. I mean, close the interior airlock door. Kill the gravity controls in the airlock.
You can't so much kill the gravity controls in the airlock. You could kill the gravity controls for the ship. That's something you're probably going to have to do from engineering.
Why do we want to kill gravity? Can't we just blow it out the airlock?
Something that weighs tens of tons is not going to get blown out of an airlock.
It's not tens of tons. It's maybe 3/4 of a ton, but still, yeah, it's the amount of air that's in the airlock when you burst it, it's
There's
just
no
gonna-
amount, there's actually, there's no amount of air unless you're talking a hurricane.
How about if I just like
Hey.
jam the accelerator on the trucks and I jump out
No, don't do that.
and it'll just kind of push it out, you know, as the door closes. That'll be dramatic.
I mean, you know, you could do an EVA to get to to go to the outside of the ship and try to rig a pulley system of some sort, or you
Sam?
could kill the gravity on the ship, and once the gravity's gone, then yeah.
Sam, what's the easiest way of getting this thing out?
Should I roll tech to figure that out?
Yeah.
I think it's just something, you're used to working with heavy loads. You should know how to do this.
You know, I don't think we need to roll here.
You know, we have spacesuits on, so maybe I could just push, you know, we close the door and I'll just drive the truck in the vacuum and push it out.
We can't close the cargo bay door. It's broken open.
Oh,
You weren't there for that.
no.
Oh yeah, that's true. The interior airlocks
Okay.
won't seal at this point. So
Sam, rig
I
something,
see.
rig something
really-
that'll shove this thing out into space.
Well, we
honestly,
could all just lash ourselves, you know, some of those cables you're talking about, we could all just connect ourselves to something. And like I said, open the outer airlock and the air and the truck, you know, the energy, push it out into space.
It's too fucking risky.
So I'm just going to say that some ideas that come to Samantha to get this thing out. One, you can kill the gravity on the ship. Once the gravity, you know, because your vac suits have, you know, your vac suits have magnetic boots, so you can still walk around with no gravity on the ship. Then it still certainly has mass and inertia, but you know, you could probably rig something to, you could probably rig some, you could rig something to, like, you know, just give it enough of a push that its own momentum will just carry it out in space, presumably. You know, you could do an EVA to go out on the outside of the ship.
No EVAs. Sam, if you can't rig something, then we'll kill the gravity on the ship and move it.
You know what I mean? Another thing you could do is you could leave someone on this ship. Someone could go to your ship, you know, park your ship next to it, like send a cable over and like pull it off that way. Because your ship's sublight engines, your thrusters work just fine. Another thing you could try to do would be to repair the cargo bay's interior door such that you could evacuate the air from the entire cargo bay, and then continue to use your.
How big is the airlock's big? The airlock's big, yeah.
The airlock's big, yeah. This is the cargo.
Fine.
This is the cargo bay. The cargo bay
Airlock's
airlock is big.
We don't have to do this then. Sparks, get into one of the loaders.
All right.
And get into airlock. We'll double cable you on, so you're not going anywhere, and you can just push this thing out.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Sure. I don't think a roll is necessary here. You're not. No one's in immediate danger. Why don't you tell us what it looks like? So those loaders, they're like what Sigourney Weaver used to fight the alien queen at the end of Alien.
Right.
There are two of them.
Right. So we open the external door, right? So the room, there's a rush of air and stuff flowing out into space. And in this maelstrom, I'll grab it and use the power of this power lifter to, you know, lift it up and, you know, clonk, 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 a few steps towards the, you know, the edge, and trip the hydraulics to like fling it, you know, as much as you can out into space.
Okay, I don't think a roll is necessary here. I like that. Yeah, you close. Yeah, you go into the air. Yeah, there is certainly enough space in the airlock for one of these loader exoskeletons. So yeah, you go in there, you close the interior door, you open the exterior door, the air rushes out. Yeah, you use the exoskeleton to muscle it into space and give it a shove, and it slowly starts drifting away from the ship because this thing is heavy and it had a lot of inertia.
Hasta la vista, alien
Close the
bitch.
outer airlock, get Sparks out of there.
Yeah, close the exterior door, open the interior. Or close the exterior door, pressurize the airlock, open the interior.
Yep.
You have just spaced a weird alien statue.
All in a day's work. Let's get back to our
Okay.
ship. Let's see if our hyperdrive works. Get the hell out of here.
We still need. No, it's not going to work because that's not what the source of it was.
All right, the planet.
I mean, if you want to, if you want to ask the computer, hyperdrive check.
Oh, you're calling over to your ship to have your AI
Yes.
respond? Okay. Hyperdrive is still offline, Captain.
There you go. All right. Let's go look at the crew and quarters, unless somebody has a better idea. See if we can figure out where they went. Because we still got some mysteries here. Who the hell, did this thing take over somebody's mind to make them erase? All that.
Well, I mean, there was a bunch of people, looks like they were worshiping it. So,
Yeah, well.
did we ever
Hope
make
they
it to the
died.
crew quarters?
No.
You've not made it to the crew quarters yet. You made it to.
Let's try that.
You checked the cryo chamber. You went to the bridge, and you.
Let's try the crew quarters. Whoever erased the bots and the ship systems didn't necessarily get their hands on everything. Maybe somebody had a personal record.
Okay. So yeah, there are.
Engineering.
Okay. So there was actually. So you check out the crew quarters. So there's actually three. There are three different crew quarters for the for the enlisted / lower ranking members of the crew. One of them had 12, but one of them slept 12. Two of them slept 6 each. Rooms were roughly the same size, so so anyway, presumably the higher your rank, the better your accommodations. So in the first crew quarters, there are 12 bunks. There are three corpses of crew members that are kind of stacked like cordwood in the corner of the room.
It's kind of horrifying.
Yeah.
What do we?
Whole thing stinks.
Are they dressed? Do you know what I mean? Is there anything? Do I see anything interesting on these human cordwood?
So yeah, I mean, it looks like they've been. Yeah, it looks like they've been dead a while. Oh yeah, that's. It looks like they've been dead a while. I mean, you've been walking around with your vac suits on, so you're not detecting any odors or anything like that. You're in space, so decomposition is going to take less than it would if you were like on a planet, presumably. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, they're very stiff. They're somewhat desiccated. What killed them? Well, the one on the bottom, it looks like its throat was ripped out by presumably it looks like it's got claws and it's got defensive wounds on its arms. Clearly, it was fought by like probably one of the aliens that you've encountered thus far must have attacked it. The other two, however, the one on top of it is very clear what killed this person, because there is a there's a Phillips head screwdriver about this long that's been jabbed right through his neck. And the person and the third body has several ballistic gunshot wounds.
You guys aren't feeling kind of crazy, like you want to kill me or something, do you? Not more than
long
usual.
before this.
I mean, you look kind of tasty.
I just have my gun out and I'm just pointing at all those vents where the creatures came out of before, earlier. I'm just, paranoid about some of those things popping out again.
Are you poking around for? So I'm just going to say poking around the crew quarters. Mundane objects. Really, the only thing that you find that's of interest is like a portable music player.
Okay. Keep them. Let's move on then.
Second crew quarters. 6 bunks, 6 corpses. These corpses are. It looks like they're just like arrayed on the floor. It looks like they've been all more or less ripped to pieces by presumably something with like something like claws that could rip through steel. One of them has severe acid burns.
So is somebody using the crew quarters as a morgue now? Is that what we're seeing?
This one looks. I mean, this crew quarters. It looks like something attacked the. It looked like they were on the. It looked like they were on their sleep schedule. Something came in while all 6 of them were asleep, and then just slaughtered them before they could really react.
So it looks like some of the people were killed and stacked up by other people, and creatures killed these guys. What's our count now? We get 30? Is that what the roster said? So now we're up to what? A dozen, 15 of them? They're dead people at this point.
About that, yeah. And the other crew quarters, 12 bunks. There are 12 bunks. There are 4 corpses in here, and these all, again, it looks like these. Looks like all 4 of these were killed with gunfire.
Is there a spot around here where that archaeologist that we heard about might have been staying?
Yeah, I mean, these were the general crew quarters. Officers' crew quarters are farther down the corridor, and you go past the med bay. Let's see, and there is looks like there's 2 other. Looks like there are 3 other quarters. There's one for the captain. There's one for the first mate. There's one for the ship's archaeologist.
Well, I think we'll get answers about the creatures maybe from the archaeologist room. You guys want to check that out?
We want to
Sounds
check them
good.
both out. That's fine. Let's try that first.
Lead the way, Athena. I got you covered.
Of course, Sparks. Sure you do. Sure you do. Is the door open? Do we have to open it up? What's the?
You can open
we got?
I mean, I was going to say it was locked from the interior, but Samantha bypasses the security easily. So inside the archaeologist's quarters. So yeah, there's like photographs like adhered, like taped to the wall of all kinds of different artifacts, including a whole lot of photographs of that weird statue that you just faced. There is a body that is there is a body slumped over a metal desk. Again, clearly dead. And there are, there's a data pad with a cracked screen lying on the floor next to the body.
Sam, is it any good?
I'll check it out.
It's got a cracked screen, but it's otherwise pretty it's otherwise functional.
Paul, yeah, download what it's got and see what there is.
Yeah, there's definitely this pad was definitely where the archaeologists kept their field notes. So skimming through them quickly.
Yeah, put in keyword killer alien creature. See what you get.
Just get the most recent entries.
Or that.
So, let's double check where they actually found this thing.
Mike, I gotta step away for just a minute, okay?
That's okay, no problem. I think I'm going to do. So the field notes indicate that the Alexis was on a mission to another system when they got pulled out of hyperspace, just the same way that you did, about 3 weeks ago. They landed on the planet. The notes indicate that the planet is mostly an ocean planet, and that the ocean is highly caustic. It's the seas are sulfuric acid. However, there are a few islands that dot the surface, but only one landmass that is of any size. It's the landmass. The one island is like roughly the size of the island of Ireland. So hundreds, thousands of square. So it's you'd measure it in square miles, not thousands of square miles. I'd need to double check that, but anyway, it's a large island. It's not a continent, and that there were strange alien structures there. This being an archaeological ship, they decided to do some archaeological exploration, and they picked up they found this strange metal statue, which they decided to bring back, which they after they landed, made note of dangerous hostile creatures that seemed to be native to the planet. There were structures on the planet that they said were very old. They did make note of an abandoned. They did make note of what seems to be an abandoned Terran colony outpost, which looked to be maybe 30 years out of date. They were not able to raise any. They attempted to make radio contact and didn't get a response. They did a little bit of archaeological research. found this artifact, loaded it on the ship, and then the life forms on the planet were sufficiently hostile, and they were insufficiently armed that they took this one artifact and returned it to orbit to study it from there. And not long after is when the nightmares started.
Okay.
The last pages of the last couple of entries are less and less coherent as the archaeologist talks about, seeing things and having waking nightmares, and seeing things out of the corner of his eyes, and the crew being more and more disturbed and short, and fights breaking out. And the final entry was what are they? Question. Where did they come from? Question.
Interesting.
And it does look like he was killed by another person, killed by a creature, just died.
Why did he document it?
It looks like what killed him was looks like someone repeatedly smashed his face into that metal desk again and
Okay.
again and again and again and again.
Hmm. Maybe we can check the captain's quarters, see if there's like a captain's log to find out when they started having hyperdrive problems, and cross-reference with the archaeological stuff. Should we head there, you guys? Captain's quarters?
Yeah, I like it.
All right. At least we know where to go now.
And did the creatures that he described, the hostile creatures on the planet, did they sound like the same things we've seen or something else?
He didn't really describe them.
Okay.
Didn't really describe them other than, and also made references to waking nightmares. And at one point, there was one entry where the journal was, I'm not sure what's real and what I'm imagining. Captain's quarters next.
Yeah.
Okay. The captain's quarters are in remarkably ordered shape. Again, the door was the door to the captain's chamber. The captain's quarters was locked. I'm just going to say Samantha's able to make short work of the security. It looks like there was not a struggle in here. There does not appear to be a corpse or anything like that. No sets of books, like old school books. Also personal data pad. And the personal data pad appears to be the captain's log, captain's journal. Let me roll on a table because this is an OSR module. So in her entries included, so it looks like the captain's taste ran Spartan. There's not a lot of decoration. There's not really any art on the walls or anything like that. I mean, there's there's a bunk, there's some exercise equipment, there's a small shelf of old style printed books. But on her data pad, you skim through it, and it's a lot of mundane aspects about running a vessel. Nothing terribly interesting until 2 weeks ago. Until 3 weeks ago, she details that the ship was suddenly lurched out of hyperspace. It says that they docked with a couple of other derelict spaceships to try to figure out what had happened, and they weren't able to. None of the other ships. The two other ships that they docked with were partially damaged and had been in orbit and their manifest indicated that they had been here for decades. Details going down to explore the planet's surface and bringing an artifact aboard, and then retreating when basically a parallel to what the archaeologist said. But the other thing she said is like the night after they brought that statue aboard, she started having terrible nightmares. One particularly vivid one was that, and she describes it, that she was walking toward the horizon, passing a burning car. The air was thick. The air was thick with foul-smelling smoke. And as she walked, she realized that her skeleton had stopped walking, but she kept going on. And she turned around and saw her own skeleton standing there as what was left of her flesh slumped, what was left of her flesh like collapsed into a wet pile on the ground.
Sounds fun.
So I know people always leave stuff in books or behind books. So I'm going to go grab those books and like shake them all and see if any notes or anything fall out, if any little secret little things back in there. That's an old trick.
Got it. What would be cool to find? I'm going to say yeah, you find. I'm going to say yeah, just because it would be interesting. Yeah, you find a small object of interest. What do you find?
I think I find maybe like a weird alien key of some sort.
Okay.
Who knows what it opens, but
I mean, this is an archaeological.
Maybe it's made out of that same weird metal that monolith was made out of. How's that work? Or does that not fit?
I don't think that would fit.
Okay.
I'm going to say that sure, you find a weird alien key.
All right.
It doesn't match. I mean, this is an archaeological ship. It's been on a lot of missions to various various sites of long lost alien civilizations.
Okay, I'll put it on my character sheet.
But humanity still hasn't met an existing one. Let's see. I think that's. I'm going to hand wave the rest of the exploration of the ship because you've pretty much got what information you're going to find. Is there anything else you want to do? Anything you want to attempt to recover from this ship?
Is there a big hulking like hand cannon laying around anywhere?
Yes. In the first mate's quarters. He's dead. It looks like he's dead. It looks like he was ambushed. Looks like he was ambushed in his sleep by one of the the weird alien humanoid creatures that seem to be able to phase in and out when in proximity to that statue. Although given the acid burns on his arm, it seems like he probably put up a pretty good fight. But yeah, looking through his room, you find he's got an SK-109 Seeker Smart Rifle. That counts as a heavy weapon.
Sounds pretty badass.
Yeah, but Athena's like, I'll use her well.
And I'm going to say there's several clips of ammunition for it as well. He's also got a vibra-shetty hung on the wall.
Ah. All right, she'll upgrade.
You get one of the two. So give the other one to somebody else.
I don't want it.
Well,
Give it to Sam.
Sam, you can have my vibro blade. You can work up to the vibro machete.
All right.
No, come on, Athena. We don't know what kind of things we're going to be facing.
All right, here you go. But if Sam dies, I get the vibro machete.
All right.
Okay.
Actually, I was thinking that Sam's probably a better shot, and you're probably better with the hand weapon.
Yeah, that is true. Is there another heavy rifle we can give to Sam?
No, you kidding?
This seems to be the only one that's on this ship.
All right, Sam, you can have it. You can have the rifle, but you have to promise not to shoot me.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, the thing with a heavy weapon is you do need two hands. You do need to, you need two hands to operate it, and it's got a bit of a kick. So that's kind of like more, it's more fictional than anything else. And let's see, it is anything else you want to do on the Alexis?
No. I think
Okay.
we're done. Let's get back to this.
Returning to your ship.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything with the two android, the two like semi-functional androids that you found on this ship, or you're just going to let them stay here?
I don't know. They're
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
They're beyond twitchy. I don't know what's going on with their programming.
I don't know if I
they
want
might.
them.
They might have killed all these people for all we know.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Okay.
We could always come back for him.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cool. Okay, you head back to your ship. I think this is a good time to call for a 5-minute break. Let's see. It is. I got 9:38. So yeah, let's come back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Mike, I was gonna say we should do the end of session questions. I think we forgot last time, but I looked at them. I don't think we earned anything anyway, so it's probably not worth it.
Got it. Yeah, I forgot about the end of session questions.
One of them's like, did you earn any profit? And that's like, that doesn't really apply for what we're doing, does it?
Right. Yeah, that
did
was
you
that. Go on.
I was gonna say the other two, I think were like, did you learn anything new about the universe? And the third one was like, did you, what was it?
Learn anything new is hell yes.
Yeah, maybe. That was probably the closest we had to earning a point.
Multi-legged tentacle things.
Yeah. Did we overcome a difficult challenge or dangerous adversary? This is for last session, so I don't know.
Yes.
That's
I
true.
mean, you hit under a table. That has to be worth
Hey, no,
experience
Athena
points.
shot one.
Athena shot one. Okay, yeah. When we do end of session tonight, we'll think back at last session because yeah, I totally forgot to do that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's close to leveling up anyways.
It's like 10, right? To
Yeah,
level
I
up,
think I
something.
think since this is only a 4-session series, I think maybe we'll drop that to like 5 for an advancement.
You know what I do a lot of times is I just give everybody an advance every session. I don't worry about the experience in a short run like this. That's how I do it.
That's not a bad idea. I hadn't really thought of that. I like that. Let's just not bother with experience points. Let's just take an advance at the end of every session. I'm going to say that since we're since we've come to a conclusion, or we've come to a minor conclusion, or the end of a chapter. If anyone would like to take an advancement now, you may go ahead, and then we will move on to the next chapter.
Sure.
And I believe your choice of advances are. Hold on, I need to pull up the actual game here.
Yeah, they're all at the bottom.
Where is advancement?
I'm going to take cheap shot. If I attack someone without them being aware, I get a roll with advantage and I do maximum damage.
Okay. So yeah, you can choose to either take a new class ability or increase an attribute by 1. You may not have more than one. You may not have more than one stat at +3. Has everyone picked an advancement, or people are still figuring it out?
Sure.
Oh, yep, I'm good.
Awesome. Just checking to see what people picked. Okay.
I boosted my strength by 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I picked Veteran's Instincts. Basically, reroll damage die.
Nice. Looks like Sparks picked up cheap shot.
Yeah. Looks like Thorn's got more
Thorn got,
psychic.
Thorn,
Yeah, well, there's the little mini scene for that. You'll see.
Okay.
so it
So
looks like Thorn picked up a.
are we back?
We are back.
Okay. All right, first thing, who's hurt?
I've lost a few hit points, but can I do first aid on myself?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I mean, we got a med bay.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say we've got a.
Let's get you
med bay on the
patched
ship.
up.
My emotions are frayed, as I'm smoking cigarette after cigarette, but my body's okay.
I'll fix you up, Sam. You can patch your suit.
Well, I'm going to say that. Let's see. So you're. I'm going to say there's enough time. You've got. There's enough time, and you've got medical supplies, so that I'll just say everyone can go back. Everyone go back to full hit points. Let's see here.
Yeah, Sam's the only one who got hurt. All right.
Okay.
We got to count on more trouble here. So
So now that you're back, you've taken some time. You've completed a couple of orbits of this planet, done some more scans, and you can't really get good scans of the surface. There's something interfering with your scanner on the planet.
but we have coordinates.
You do have coordinates, and I mean you can get some visual scans. I mean this planet has normal cloud cover, so you can see to its surface, and so yeah, just with standard cameras you can see where this island is.
Okay.
The other thing, however, is when you're scanning some more, the planet does have a small moon that orbits fairly close. I mean, for moons at least, it orbits fairly close to the planet, and it has a pretty fast orbit. And when it was in scanner range, I assume you scanned the moon, and there are life signs on the moon, like human life signs.
What the hell?
But it doesn't have it, as far as we know, the moon doesn't have anything to do with the hyperspace problem.
As far as you can tell.
No. But
Can we try to hail them? Send out a signal towards wherever we locate these?
let's get in close and see if they have radios.
Yeah.
Because they may not have anything with any range.
Right.
Just because they're humans doesn't mean they're in their right minds, unfortunately.
Yeah.
At this point. So, but on the other hand, if they are, then maybe they can tell us something. And we're going to need to be loaded for bear, both physically and information wise, to deal with whatever the hell's down there. So yeah. Anybody disagree?
Well, I'd say we can hail them, but I think keep our distance until we're really certain that they're not a threat.
We can find a place. We can find a place to. We can find a place to land that's where we can't be surprised.
So
check them out at shouting distance, if nothing else.
Got it. So yeah, so this moon is again, it orbits much closer to the planet than Earth's moon orbits Earth. It's also probably it's also significantly smaller than Earth's moon. I mean, it's big enough that it's round. It's certainly. I mean, it's a world. It's not just a rock.
Right. Small, fast orbit.
Yeah, small, fast orbit. I mean, it's.
But fortunately, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's.
At least we won't have crazy tides, since it seems to be light.
No atmosphere, I presume.
No atmosphere. Seems to be, it is tidally locked with the planet. It's barren, but you can tell it is littered with wrecked spacecraft.
Hmm. I don't like the look of that.
There are faint signs of life in the northern hemisphere.
How did they stay alive?
Scavenging, maybe.
No,
Salvaging.
scavenging on an airless moon.
Well, off all the other ships, maybe.
Yeah, how long do you think that works?
I don't know, man. This whole place doesn't make sense.
No, what I mean is they have to have air. So
Yeah.
they must have a hab of some sort.
I mean, we've got enough air on this ship to last for years, as long as the fusion generator's running.
That's a big if.
We can make our own air, really. I'm sure if they got power, they can probably stay alive indefinitely down there if they've got enough supplies.
Truth.
So if you want more information about the, because your ship isn't really a surveillance craft. I mean, you've got basic scanners, but if you really want to get a better information, you're probably going to have to get closer to the moon to get more information from it. Which again, not hard. Your ship's thrusters and sublight
Okay.
engines are working just fine.
All right, we'll approach Sam.
Well, hold on 1 minute, actually. Can we tell whether the other ships that have crashed on the moon have been damaged or?
No, they're crashed.
Well, yeah. I guess have
But
they suffered?
How many intact crashes?
I'm just imagining them down there shooting at ships up in space is what I'm thinking, and I don't want to be one of those ships that have crashed on the moon.
Well, neither do I. That's why I say we're going to make a cautious approach. And Sam, if you anything funny happens to the ship, hit the end, engines to maximum, and we're going to pull out hard. Stand by.
Yeah, I'll be at a panel too, doing what I can to help with if that needs to happen.
Okay. We're going to go in for approach and see if they can talk.
Okay. So you basically send out standard hailing frequencies to use a Star Trekism.
Yeah, we'll just run through frequencies. Just have the computer run through frequencies. Hello, please respond.
Got it.
And then hook us through if we get an actual response. That doesn't sound. Yeah.
Well, let me just take a look here.
Why crashes? Can't imagine that many of these ships are even armed.
No.
So,
But
and besides which, you shoot down a ship near a moon like this, it doesn't crash on the moon. This isn't a gravity. This has almost no gravity well. You just become space debris.
I mean, it's got a gravity well. It's your things probably.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you don't fall out of the sky like you would on a
maybe they're
on a real planet.
Maybe they're somehow electronically jammed or hacked or something. I don't know.
No, hacked maybe, but jammed again. You're just going to keep going on the trajectory.
Well, I mean, we can go down to the planet and check it out.
One thing at a time. I'm not touching the planet until we see if the people can talk.
I got a bad feeling.
So you do get a hail. You do get a response like, hello. Who's
This is Stingray 12.
Oh wow! It's
Captain Thorin speaking. Who's talking?
The voice goes a little softer, like, hey, there's somebody on this channel. Hey, hi. why are you like? Who are you, and why are you here, and where do you come from? And can you take us with it? Can you take us with you?
This is the Stingray 12. We were en route elsewhere when we dropped out of hyperspace due to the anomaly here. And we don't know the answers to that last question. Who are you?
There's a pause, like, oh, you got pulled out too? Oh well.
But our impulse drive still works. Who am I talking to?
Oh, what's their name?
Planet, come in.
I'm trying to grab the name of the right NPC here. Come on. Ah, here we are. Yeah, my name's Dean. Yeah, wow, yeah, we've been stuck on this rock for 20 years. In fact, I was born here.
How many of you are down there?
There's about there's about 80 of us left.
Where are your supplies coming from, Dean?
Well, what we don't make, we salvage. There's as I'm sure you've seen, there's a lot of derelict spaceships around there.
Just synthetic food and recycled water?
Well, for the most part. We're doing some farming.
You have a bubble?
Bubble? No, we're underground.
Oh, makes sense.
Did you guys have any contact with the Alexa?
The who?
Alexis.
Or what is it? The Alexis?
How is it?
The Lexus?
Was your impulse drive damaged by the transit?
Impulse. Well, I mean, I was born here, so the story goes that, and you hear another voice in the background say, "Who are you talking, Dean? Who are you talking to? Are you making up stories again?" And Dean says, "No, there's really someone on the other end of this lid. There's like some new people, and there's new people here." A gruffer voice comes in and says, "This is Tyrant Beggar Colony. Who is on this channel?"
This is Captain Thorne of Stingray 12.
Well, hello there. You picked a lousy place to you. So what brings you to the this I was going to try to come up with something clever, but what brought you to this hellhole? Probably the same thing that brought us to this hellhole.
We were exploring inaccessible defects in hyperspace and came across this one.
Well, inexplicable defects in hyperspace is definitely this system's claim to fame. If only anyone that was affected by it could get out and tell the story.
Well, we're not done yet.
Ask him about the killer space beast.
No, first I want to know, there optical scans show a lot of crashed ships on this one. Why, do you know anything about why they crashed?
Oh, there's a lot of reasons why ships could crash. So where are you coming from? And are you?
I was not asking you why spaceships could crash. Do you know why they crashed? This is a low grav moon. Why would they crash? Is there,
Well, I
is there
mean,
anything anomalous? Is there anything anomalous about the moon or its local electromagnetic field that might cause a ship to crash?
well, you know, people got to make a living somehow. People got to people have to make it a living somehow. John hit it.
Sam, go.
At
Yeah.
that, at that, your ship is caught in a tractor beam.
Oh man, what did I tell you guys?
Full force, Sam.
The voice on the other end of the radio says, "Hey, look, no hard feelings, but
Okay, Sam.
supplies are hard to come by around here."
Sam,
So
full force, close sweep by. I'm going to do a close enough sweep by to part their hair. Full force to the engines. We're either going to get out of
Okay.
this or we're going to leave a grease stain on this planet. Sorry, you're not getting
Okay.
this one.
Okay, so you're clearly trying to use piloting to break out of this tractor beam.
Yes, but not by going away from it.
Oh, you're accelerating.
We're going to go full acceleration to the closest possible pass to this sort of thing. So I'm actually going to use the force of the tractor beam to accelerate us and slingshot past the thing.
Awesome.
Those things are designed to defeat space drives, but they're not designed to defeat their own power plus a space drive.
Awesome. Let's see. So we are definitely acting in peril here. Let me just take a look at the ship. Did you take autopilot? Yeah. Oh, you took high maneuverability. Okay. Okay, cool. So your ship's AI can assist in piloting as if someone had the pilot skill. So who is piloting the ship?
Me.
Okay.
Sound like Sam was being told to push the buttons and
Oh,
drive
yeah,
the ship.
Sam's helping
Okay.
by going full by overdriving the engines.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be a piloting check. So I think you are, since you're facing danger in the face here. Why don't you? Let's see. I think piloting the ship is going to. I think that's going to be an intelligence check.
Probably.
Unless you want to make an argument for a different stat.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless you say this is just a guts maneuver.
No, I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm going to say. I'm going to say like pulling off this funky maneuver. I think that's intelligence.
Okay. Does Sam get some sort of role to help?
Well, I mean, Sam could assist by. So the way that would work is, they could tell you what they're doing and they would give you advantage. But your ship's AI is also giving you advantage, so you're gonna roll with advantage.
All right.
You know, we have afterburners also that say if you burn a fuel, you get a +1 to your roll. We have 4 fuels. Should we burn a fuel and get an extra +1?
That's it. Cook it.
All right. I'm going to lower that to 3 fuel then. So you get an extra +1.
Okay.
Sam.
Nice.
Right.
So
There we go.
you are nice. So it looks like you're in this +1. So you're gonna roll +2 with advantage. So roll 3d6 and add the highest 2.
13.
Dang.
Nice.
You get the extra effect or you get a reduce your stress one, right?
Correct.
Maybe like you said, like, you know, we fly so low and so fast that we cause damage to their
No.
machinery or something,
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
or their
Or
weaponry. Or maybe they
so-
overload their weapon or something.
Here's a here's a possibility.
Okay.
You fly, you yeah, you're able to like basically you buzz their base, and as you're doing that, we can say Sam does a highly detailed sensor scan, so you get a lot more information about what's going on there. Would that be that sound good?
Is if there's something to get from it, which we don't know.
At least some more information about their capabilities, that sort of thing. That's an offer. If anyone else has something else they want to, I think
I like
would be
it.
good for this maneuver. Okay.
Fine.
So yeah, so this maneuver totally works. Brandon, why don't you tell us what the viewers at home see on this?
Okay. The ship. So the drive lights, and notwithstanding, the ship is definitely being pulled towards the moon. Whereupon Thorin hits a bunch of controls, and the ship flips 180. The attitude jets spin the ship 180, and it kind of does a sort of half twist as well, just to be cool looking. And then Sam slams the afterburners lever down, and all the auxiliary engines light. And the ship goes into a power dive, seemingly straight for the installation that's pulling it in, like it's going to suicide right onto them. And as the thing rocks it in, and we see a cut to their side going, "Those guys are crazy. What the hell?" And then a flick of the lever at the last minute, and the ship misses the beam installation, which is necessarily on the surface, by a matter of 100 feet or so. And the tractor beam pulse distorts and blinks out as the ship goes too close inside its safety radius, and it powers out to avoid overloading. And then the ship is out and away, firing off into empty space.
Nice.
As the ship makes its pass, Sam's console fills up with, you see it just fill up with data, with a scan. And we're off and through, and everybody lets their breath out all at the same time.
Cool. So,
okay.
Wow, good flying, Sam and Thorn.
That was awesome.
Well,
so,
now we know how they've stayed. Now we know how they've stayed alive for so long.
Yeah. So a couple of things that you see on your scan. First of all, so yeah, there is there's a station. It looks like it's built out of. So on the surface of the planet, there's a surface installation. It looks like it is constructed out of various of pieces salvaged from various spacecraft, including a ship's like a large ship's tractor beam. That seems to be what they were using to like pull various wrecks to the surface. When you it looks like you did some scan, so like maybe maybe about only like 4 or 5 miles from this tractor beam station, and you can see like tracks on it. It's more or less a road on this airless dusty moon surface of a couple of like ground vehicles have like gone back and forth between this installation and like a ridge of hills. Again, like ragged, like the craggy, jagged hills that you see on an airless moon. And scanning in there indicates that there's an underground facility. It looks like there must have been some kind of natural caves that were there that people have since like built an underground facility. Building underground is good because it shields you from solar radiation. Especially this being a red dwarf star system, they notoriously throw out like massive solar flares.
Yeah, solar wind is awful.
So being underground is like, and since a moon doesn't have a magnetic field, a moon like this won't have a magnetic field to shield the surface.
Right.
Building underground is really the best way to defend yourself against high energy radiation. You also see the wreck of what clearly had been I was going to say multi-generational. That's not right. It's the wreck of a large colony ship. That would have been presumably used to send like thousands of colonists to a newly claimed habitable planet. And that's maybe 9 or 10 miles from the hill where the underground installation is. And that's been, and it looks like you can't really, from what you could scan, that ship design went out of fashion about 50 years ago.
So that might be where these people came from.
Around the tractor beam station are several wrecks. Again, it looks like they were using their tractor beam to, when derelict ships got in range, they would use the tractor beam to like pull one of the derelicts to the surface.
Or not so derelict ships.
But the fact that you were new blood, they clearly wanted to try to lure you in and get new good stuff rather than wrecks that have been orbiting this planet for decades, if not longer.
Is what was the ship with the statue on? What was that thing called?
The ship with the statue on it? That was the Alexis.
You mean the Alexis?
The Alexis, yeah. So do we think they could have tractored that to the moon? I'm curious if they stayed away from that or.
Well, it wasn't anywhere near the moon.
Yeah, it looks like it was just generally out of range.
Okay, cool.
Generally just out of range of this.
Yeah, I mean, if that.
Look, those guys don't have any answers for us. That's just bad news. So I think we head to the planet and
your comms crackles to life again, and another voice. It's a different voice, not the two that you've heard before. It's a woman's voice, and she says, hello, Stingray 12, was it? Sorry about that. My name's Malta. I'm I guess I'm the leader of the colony. Sorry about that. Our record got a little, shall we say, jumpy at that. Oh, and by the way, that was really good. That was really good flying, by the way. You are welcome to land. You're welcome to land, and we offer. You are welcome to land. We've got, we've got things we're willing to trade. I'm sure you have things that you might be willing to sell. Sure, we can come to an agreement.
You mean you're sorry that you didn't succeed?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I'm sorry that John led with. I'm sorry that John led with the tractor beam. I would have preferred to have extended a hand first.
Yeah, you would have, if you would have preferred to do it, you would have done that, but you didn't.
Yeah, I was born yesterday in Malta.
Thorn, one of Thorn's skills is manipulation. So,
what are you trying to do here?
oh, I'm just saying, one of Thorn's skills is manipulation, and the flip side of manipulation is that you're hard to lie to.
Got it.
Takes a liar to spot a liar. Yeah, I think
that's how we avoid getting bad contracts. Is that Thorn knows when they're being bullshitted, and it's like, sorry,
have
that
fun
whole
on your
murder
move. We're outta
first
here.
and then offer to deal later approach doesn't work. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't leave you guys to die in your shithole.
Get the thumbs up from Sparks.
Well, she says, I'm sure you know that your jump drives don't work, because nobody's jump drives work, which is why we're still stuck on this rock.
Yep.
We've got food here. We've got water here. If you when yours starts to run low, you are welcome to join here and join our colony.
Well,
all you need to do is agree to live by our rules. You know, she says, ship of your size, you've got enough food for what? 5-6 weeks? By the way, you've got about 6 weeks worth of food.
Something like that. But
yeah, we have a farm here. We're only eking by, but we're barely self-sufficient.
Yeah, barely self-sufficient.
And I'm sure that your ship has got plenty of tech that the colony could use to keep sustaining things. So, we're the only source of anything that you're going to find in this system. So,
yeah,
we are here when you run out of options, because you are going to run out of options.
Maybe so. But if we get out of here, we can make damn sure you'll never be rescued.
Oh, that's just mean, she says.
Sam, just cut it off. This person's got nothing.
But
yeah.
that one ends the conversation.
I mean, let's.
All right, guys.
I mean, that planet's got an atmosphere. It's got an ocean.
Turns out you don't have to be crazy to be murderers around here. Shit fire. Never figured that they would have given up that completely. My bad, guys.
Yeah. We just gotta expect danger first, and then plan accordingly. This place seems to be a death trap. So where we're going next is the archaeological site, the old abandoned colony.
We only know one place we can land.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there is only so the surface of the planet is almost entirely a sulfuric acid ocean.
Yeah.
Also,
we only know one place we can land, and it's where the thing that's shutting off our hyperdrive is coming from.
Yeah, there's it's got small like islets like in various spots on the surface of this planet, but there's only one landmass to speak of. I wouldn't even call it a continent. It's it's a large island. It's kind of it's near the equator.
Okay.
planet does have a breathable atmosphere. But you need to be wary of the weather because from your scans, it does have weather patterns. This planet is the planet's surface is prone to violent storms. There's a lot of, you just see there's a lot of there's a lot of like lightning activity. You see, like just from scanning the planet, there's at least 4 or 5 active hurricanes at any given time around the planet, and yeah, it looks like plenty of them would hit this island. You're also not sure how acidic the rain is going to be.
Plus, the captain and the archaeologist talked about dangerous creatures. So keep those guns.
Yeah, they talked about dangerous creatures on the surface of the planet.
Well, and the dangerous creatures that they brought back up with them.
Yeah.
And I tell you, the things with the teeth and the tentacles and the claws, that is not the one I'm worried about.
Maybe we can pick a time to land like between the storms, with sensors and pick up where the hurricanes are and try to time it.
We'll do an orbital and computer weather simulation regarding this point on planet. Calculate best landing interval within the next 14 days.
Okay, so the computer runs the computer warns you that there's insufficient data to run a full weather forecast. It would need at least a year's worth of local weather data in order to figure out what the.
Well, it gets about 3 orbital passes worth of weather data.
Got it. It thinks it can predict the weather for maybe 3 to 5 days.
That's what we want. We just want the biggest interval.
Okay.
We want the biggest interval that we can get within.
Sure.
Within the boundaries of our guesstimation.
Got it. Okay.
5 days. 5 days would be great, actually, if we can get a 5-day interval.
Okay. Okay. So the island is it's roughly round. It's a little more it's kind of it's an irregular island, but it's roughly 100 kilometers in diameter. So not a tiny island, but it's not it's certainly not a continent. It's also very much of it is hilly and jagged, and there seems to be some kind of vegetation that's covering most of it. There is one area which is fairly flat, which looks like it would be the best.
Vegetation's actually good. It means this island doesn't get scoured by all-encompassing hurricanes.
Yeah, the center of the island is a large flat rocky plateau.
Old volcano caldera kind of thing.
No, the island does not seem volcanic. Although it may have been, hard to say. It doesn't have a caldera. It's almost like it's a it's pretty flat. It kind of like rises. It's got cliffs. For most of the coastline are cliffs which rise between 50 and 200 feet above the surface of the water. Again, very jagged cliffs. There is only one area that has a beach that goes down to the water. But again, this water is sulfuric acid, so you're probably not going to want to go surfing here. There's a large plateau that's probably a good it's a good like 30 kilometers by 40 kilometers. That seems to be the best landing site. From there, there's a larger ridge. There seems to be some kind of sensor anomaly at the top of the ridge. You can't really get good readings from that.
There's a ridge. Is it attached to the plateau, this ridge?
Yeah, it's attached to the plateau. It's basically it's another much higher mesa off of the plateau.
Okay.
There is also what you can scan. There is a there is you do see a tower. It looks to be of fairly recent construction. It's like normal human level technology. It looks like a command building. It looks like a standard command building that an early colony ship would construct, or would have a prefab, or would have this prefab tower that they'd be able to just like put together very quickly.
Okay.
There is also on a different area of the island, it looks like some kind of ancient stone structures, almost like a city or a town.
And whereabouts, do we have any idea where this hyperspace anomaly, dampening field, whatever we call it, is originating from? Is that from this?
That's probably from that sensor anomaly that's at the top of the plateau.
Okay. And where is that in relation to like the ancient site and the tower? Are those all near each other, or are those spread around on this island here?
They're spread around on the island. Basically, so the anomaly is let's just say that's to the north of the island, at the top of the highest ridge. The tower is let's see. Yeah, the tower is that's basically in the west of the island. The necropolis, this like weird stone city, that's in the south. And the eastern part of the island is that seems to be where the most vegetation is. There seems to be some kind of like weird forest, and also kind of a weird swamp. The best landing area is pretty much smack dab in the middle of the island. That's where that large open rocky plateau is.
Well, that's where we're going, unless that's no reason otherwise.
Yeah, let's land there. Maybe we do a slow flyby of these different sites, get a look at them from afar, from above, and then go and land.
Okay, it's from your flyby. That's pretty much what I described.
Okay.
So you bring your ship down for a landing.
So let's sit down on the plateau.
Sit down on the plateau. Okay, fantastic. Jason, I don't think you were here when we started. I was hoping to end a little on the early side tonight, just because I didn't sleep well last night, and I am really tired.
Sure.
So I think this actually looks like a pretty good break point. So I think we will. So I think we're going to call it here. For next week, I'll put a little schematic of what. I'll put a little schematic of the island to get you a better picture of, what places you might want to go. And then yeah, we'll pick it from here. I figure you'll we'll pick a location. And we'll go there and see what we find.
Sounds good.
Cool. Well, I had fun with this, folks. I hope you folks did.
Yep.
So, one other thing is we'll at the start of next session we can pick an advancement. Everyone picks another advancement.
Okay. And do I remember correctly, we're not meeting next week though?
Oh yes,
We-
correct.
weeks?
That is
Yeah.
correct. Next week is Gauntlet Community Open Gaming. So I'm running a different event for GCOG. So we're not meeting next week. We're going to meet again in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Cool. Well, thank you, folks. I really enjoyed this. Do we want to do a stars? Go. Yes.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to ask. Do we want to do a quick stars and wishes?
Actually, I have something.
Yeah, please.
I would say I think it would be helpful if maybe we all focused on sharing the spotlight more. I feel like I have to kind of interject myself a lot to do anything, and I mean it's okay. It's just not as fun. So
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for mentioning that. I'm feeling like I had fun. I'm feeling like I didn't give you my A game tonight because I'm like really struggling to stay awake. And yeah, I don't think you're right. I don't think I did a good job of shining the spotlight. I think you got the short shirt. I think you got a bit of short shrift, and I think Kyle didn't get as much spotlight as he should have either. And I apologize for that. I will endeavor to do a better job next time.
Players can also be involved in that operation as well. So, but good game.
Thank you for pointing that out.
I like where the story's going.
Awesome. Cool, folks. I'm really enjoying the character interplay. I think and I'm having fun. Is it okay with everyone if I post this recording?
Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. Alrighty then. Well, I guess I will see you all in 2 weeks.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, folks.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everyone.